The village of Nurabad lay at the edge of a wide green valley, where mountains rose like silent guardians and the river sang lullabies under the moonlight. Among its people lived a young girl named Arzo. She was curious, dreamy, and always searching for something beyond the ordinary. Arzo was unlike the other children of the village. While they played games and laughed in the streets, she often wandered into the fields, gazing at the stars and asking herself, what lies beyond what my eyes can see? Could magic really be real? Her grandmother used to tell her bedtime stories about the forgotten forest, a mysterious place hidden deep beyond the hills. The forest, it was said, was once home to fairies, spirits of light, and treasures of dreams. But as time passed, people forgot about it. Some claimed it was cursed, some said it had vanished, and others swore it was only an old tale. Yet, in her heart, Arzo believed that such a place truly existed. One golden evening, as the sun melted into shades of crimson and orange, Arzo felt an unexplainable pull inside her. She followed the winding path beyond her village, across the meadow of wildflowers, and into the hills she had only seen from afar. The air grew cooler, the sky darker, and before long, she stood before towering trees that looked older than time itself. "This must be it," she whispered. "The forgotten forest." The trees stood tall like pillars of an ancient temple, their roots twisted into shapes that almost looked like sleeping creatures. Strange glowing fireflies floated in the air, lighting the path like tiny lanterns. The deeper she walked, the quieter the world became, no birds, no wind, only the sound of her heartbeat. After walking for what felt like hours, Arzo reached a small clearing where moonlight spilled like silver water. At the center of the clearing was an old wooden chest, half buried under ivy and moss. Its surface shimmered faintly, as though it was breathing with light. Arzo knelt down, brushing the vines away. The chest was not locked, but it carried carvings she couldn't understand, spirals, stars, and shapes that almost moved under her touch. Her heart raced. Could this be magic? Slowly, with trembling hands, she opened it. A burst of golden light poured out, dazzling her eyes. She gasped and stumbled back, covering her face. When her vision cleared, she saw inside the chest not jewels, not coins, but something far stranger, a makeup box. It was no ordinary makeup box. Its edges were carved from crystal, glowing softly, and its surface shone like the night sky filled with constellations. Tiny specks of light moved across it, like living stars dancing on its lid. Arzo touched it, and the box hummed as if it recognized her. The moment her fingers brushed against it, the forest around her seemed to change. The trees leaned closer, the fireflies swirled in spirals, and the air filled with a faint music, like distant bells. She opened the magical makeup box, and to her amazement, each item inside glowed with a different color. A lipstick as red as the first rose of spring. An eyeshadow palette shimmering in all shades of a rainbow. A blush soft as sunrise. A mascara black as the midnight sky but speckled with tiny golden sparks. Just as she stared in wonder, the air rippled before her. Out of the glowing box rose a small figure, made of pure light. Slowly, the light shaped itself into a fairy, her wings glittered like diamonds, her hair flowed like liquid silver, and her eyes sparkled with kindness. "Arzo," the fairy said in a voice like a song, "you have opened the treasure of the forgotten forest. This is no ordinary makeup, it is the magic of dreams. It belongs only to the one who believes." Arzo's eyes widened. You know my name." The fairy smiled. "Of course. The forest has been waiting for you." The girl felt her heart race with excitement and fear. "But why me? I'm just ordinary." The fairy shook her head. You are not ordinary, Arzo. You have always believed in wonders, even when others laughed. The box chose you, and now you must decide, will you step into the world of magic, or will you close the lid and forget it ever existed? Arzo looked at the glowing makeup, then at the fairy, then at the dark mysterious forest around her. Her hands trembled. She had dreamed of magic her whole life, and now it was real, right in front of her. Taking a deep breath, she whispered, I want to see everything. I want to believe. The fairy's wings spread wide, scattering sparks of light. Then your journey begins tonight. The makeup box glowed brighter, and the forest came alive. Flowers bloomed in colors never seen before, stars above seemed to fall closer, and the ground beneath her feet shone with patterns of light. Arzo held the magical box close to her chest, her eyes reflecting the starlight. For the first time in her life, she felt she was not just dreaming. She was stepping into a new world, one filled with magic, fairies, and secrets waiting to be discovered. And deep in her heart, she knew, her life would never be the same again. The night in the forgotten forest grew brighter as Arzo clutched the shimmering makeup box to her chest. The fairy hovered before her, glowing like a tiny star, her wings scattering light with every movement. Arzo's eyes could not leave her, never had she seen such beauty, such magic, alive before her eyes. Who are you? Arzo asked, her voice trembling with awe. The fairy bowed gracefully midair. I am Leora, guardian of the box of enchantment. I have waited centuries for someone pure of heart to awaken it again. Arzo blinked. Centuries? Yes, Leora said with a smile that glimmered like moonlight. This box was created long ago by the fairies of light. It holds more than colors, it holds pieces of dreams, fragments of joy, and whispers of stars. It is powerful, but it needs a soul brave enough to wield it. Arzo's heart thudded. She looked down at the sparkling makeup, lipstick glowing red, eyeshadow shimmering like rainbows, blush soft as dawn, and mascara twinkling like night skies. But I don't understand. How could makeup be powerful? Leora fluttered closer and landed lightly on the rim of the open box. Her wings folded like petals. Because these are not just paints for the skin, child. Each one carries magic woven from nature itself. The lipstick of blossoms, the eyeshadow of rainbows, the blush of laughter, the mascara of stars, each holds a secret power. When worn, they can change the world around you. Arzo's eyes widened, her curiosity blazing. Change the world? How? Try, Leora whispered, pointing to the lipstick. Hesitant, Arzo lifted the glowing red stick. The moment she touched it, warmth rushed through her veins. She brought it to her lips, brushing it softly. Instantly, the forest gasped with life. Every flower within sight bloomed at once, filling the air with fragrance. Roses unfolded, tulips opened, lilies shone with dew. Fireflies spun in spirals, singing in light. Arzo staggered back, her lips shimmering like petals. I did this? Leora nodded proudly. The lipstick of blossoms makes life bloom wherever it is worn. You see, beauty can be more than a mask, it can awaken the sleeping world. Arzo touched her lips in disbelief, laughter bubbling inside her. The joy felt unlike anything before. She was not just wearing color, she was breathing magic. But before she could ask more, the wind changed. The forest rustled with a sound unlike leaves or branches. From the shadows between the trees, faint whispers drifted, low and uneasy. Arzo froze. What is that? She whispered. Leora's glow dimmed slightly. Shadows. They have felt the awakening of the box. Where there is light, darkness always follows. Arzo's stomach nodded. Are they dangerous? Not yet, Leora said softly, though her wings flickered nervously. But if they grow stronger, they will try to claim the box for themselves. That is why you must learn quickly how to use its gifts. Arzo clutched the box tighter. So, you'll teach me? Leora smiled warmly. Yes. I will be your guide. But you must promise me one thing. What? That you will not use the magic selfishly. Each gift was made to spread wonder, not greed. The forest will only protect you if your heart remains pure. Arzo swallowed, then nodded firmly. I promise. The fairy's wings flared, brighter than before. Then our journey begins. Leora gestured toward the clearing. With a single flick of her tiny hand, a trail of glowing petals formed, floating just above the ground like a silver path. Arzo followed, clutching the box, her heart racing with excitement and fear.
Enough. When Arzo woke, the forest was quiet. Morning light filtered gently through the leaves, painting the ground in patches of gold. The fairies hovered around her, whispering softly, but there was something different about their voices, lower, heavier, as if a secret pressed against their wings. Leora landed beside her. You've awakened 3 gifts, she said carefully. But the next is not like the others. It carries more danger than joy. Arzo sat up slowly, her fingers brushing over the shimmering box. Danger. The box pulsed once in her lap, as though it had been waiting for her touch. Another compartment began to open, light spilling out, softer than the others, tinged with silver. Inside lay a small hand mirror framed in crystal vines, its surface smooth like water. Arzo picked it up gently. The moment her fingers touched it, the glass rippled, and her reflection smiled back, but strangely, her reflection's eyes glowed brighter than her own. The mirror of secrets, Leora whispered, bowing her head. It shows not what we see, but what is hidden. Arzo blinked at the reflection. Hidden. Yes. The truths we bury, the feelings we deny, the paths we cannot see. It can reveal joy, sorrow, fear, and even the future. But beware, not all secrets wish to be known. Arzo's heart skipped. She held the mirror closer, and the glass rippled again. This time, she didn't just see herself, she saw her mother, standing in their small cottage, looking at the night sky with tears in her eyes. Mama! Arzo whispered, reaching for the glass. But her hand passed through only cold air. The fairies fell silent. Leora spoke softly, the mirror is showing you what your heart longs to know. Your mother misses you, even now. Arzo felt her chest tighten. She wanted to jump into the glass, to comfort her mother, to tell her she was safe. But then, the reflection shifted. She now saw the shadows, the same dark figures from the forest edge whispering together. Their forms were sharper, clearer, and Arzo could hear them. She will awaken the gifts, one hissed. She must not reach the mountain, another growled. The festival will not be hers, the power belongs to us. Arzo gasped, nearly dropping the mirror. They're plotting against me. Leora nodded grimly. The shadows are always listening. They feed on fear, jealousy, and despair. The mirror simply lets you glimpse their truth. But why me? Arzo demanded. Why do they care what I do with this box? The fairy queen's wings lowered. Because if you master all the gifts, you will not just bring joy to the festival. You will restore balance to our realm. That is something the shadows cannot allow. Arzo stared back at the mirror, her reflection shifting again. This time, she saw herself but older, standing tall in the middle of a glowing festival, with fairies circling above her. Her cheeks were radiant, her eyes bright, her hair crowned with flowers. She looked powerful. "Is that me?" she whispered. Lyra touched her shoulder. "The mirror shows possibilities, not certainties. That future will be yours if you have courage. But the path will not be easy." The reflection flickered again. Now, instead of triumph, Arzo saw herself alone in darkness, clutching the box with trembling hands. Her face was tear-streaked, her eyes hollow. Arzo shivered, pulling the mirror close to her chest. "I don't want to see this anymore." The glass dimmed, turning once more into her simple reflection. Lyra's tone was kind but steady. "The mirror does not lie. It only shows what could be. What you choose to believe will shape your journey." Arzo looked down, her fingers tracing the crystal vines of the frame. She felt both heavier and lighter, heavier because of the truths she had seen, lighter because she finally understood that her choices mattered. Suddenly, a strange sound echoed through the forest, a soft hum, almost like a song. The mirror vibrated faintly in Arzo's hand. "What's happening?" she asked. "The mirror is calling you," Lyra said. "It wants to show you one more thing." Arzo lifted it again, cautiously. This time, the glass didn't show her, her mother, or the shadows. Instead, it revealed a hidden place deep within the forest, where a waterfall shimmered like liquid starlight. Beneath the water lay something glowing faintly, buried in stone. The fairies gasped in unison. "The heart of starlight." Arzo frowned. "The what?" Lyra's eyes gleamed. "A source of magic even older than the gifts. If the mirror has revealed it to you, then perhaps you are destined to find it." The glass rippled once more, showing the waterfall fading into mist, and then the image vanished. Arzo clutched the mirror tight. "Then that's where I have to go." Lyra hesitated. "It will not be safe. The shadows will sense your path. They will try to stop you." Arzo lifted her chin. For the first time, her voice didn't shake. "Then let them try. I won't stop now." The fairies exchanged looks of awe. The girl who had stumbled into their world timid and unsure was changing slowly, but surely. As the sun dipped lower, the mirror's glow dimmed, and Arzo tucked it carefully into the shimmering box. She looked at Lyra and the others with a small smile. "Maybe I'm not just dreaming," she said softly. "Maybe I'm becoming who I was meant to be." The fairies sang softly around her, their voices like silver threads weaving through the air. The forest seemed to lean closer, as though listening, as though approving. But far beyond, in the heart of the shadows, a pair of glowing eyes narrowed. "So the mirror has spoken to her," a voice growled. "Then it is time we stepped out of hiding." And in the distance, the forest grew colder. That night, Arzo dreamed of the waterfall from the mirror. She could almost hear the crash of starlit water and feel its mist on her skin. When she awoke, dawn was painting the forest with soft pink and gold. The fairies fluttered around her, brighter than usual, as if they too had been touched by the dream. The shimmering box pulsed again. Another compartment slid open like a blooming flower, releasing a soft fragrance into the air. The scent was sweet yet mysterious, like roses, rain, and something older than time. Inside lay a tiny crystal vial filled with swirling golden mist. Its stopper was shaped like a blooming lily, and as Arzo lifted it carefully, the perfume shimmered, catching the light in impossible colors. "What is this?" Arzo asked, her voice hushed as though she feared to break the magic. Lyra bowed her head. "The whispering perfume. A gift rare even among fairies." The bottle trembled in Arzo's hand, and a whisper rose from within, soft and delicate, "Do you wish to hear the truth hidden in every heart?" Arzo froze. Did it just speak? The fairies nodded. "This perfume," Lyra explained, "carries the essence of flowers that bloom only under the moonlight of the 1,000-year spring. If you release its scent, you will hear what others hide in their souls, their fears, their dreams, their secrets. Arzo's eyes widened. You mean I could know what people truly feel? Yes, Lyra said. But remember, truth can heal, and truth can wound. Sometimes hearts are not ready to be seen. Arzo uncorked the vial slightly, and a tiny thread of golden mist escaped. The forest around her seemed to hold its breath. Suddenly, she could hear soft whispers, though no one was speaking. One fairy's heart whispered, I am afraid the shadows will take her from us. Another S whispered, I wish I were as brave as her. Lyra's whisper was deeper, steadier, she is more than she knows. She could change everything. Arzo gasped and quickly sealed the vial. Her cheeks flushed, her chest tight. I heard you. All of you. The fairies fluttered back, embarrassed, their wings trembling. But Lyra smiled knowingly. And now you see why this gift is dangerous. To hear the soul of another is to carry their burden. Arzo held the vial close, conflicted. She wanted to know the truth, but she also feared what she might find. Suddenly, a breeze rustled the trees. The air grew colder. The perfume pulsed faintly, as though warning her. From the shadows at the forest's edge came a low, echoing laugh. Arzo stiffened, the fairies circling protectively. Out of the darkness stepped a figure tall, cloaked, with eyes glowing like coals. So. The figure drawled, voice like cracked stone. The girl plays with our secrets. Arzo's hand trembled on the vial. Who are you? The figure bowed mockingly. A friend. A watcher. One who knows that the festival does not belong to dreamers and little girls. The fairies hissed, their wings glowing brighter. You do not belong here. The shadow only smirked. And yet, here I am. His gaze fixed on Arzo. Tell me, child, would you like to hear my truth? Arzo's breath caught. The vial grew warmer in her hand, as though urging her. Slowly, against her own fear, she uncorked it just a little. The golden mist curled toward the shadow. The whisper that came was deep, broken, almost painful. I was once like her, but I lost everything to the light. Now I belong only to the dark. Arzo's heart thudded. The shadow's truth was not just evil, it was sorrow. She stared at him, stunned. The figure growled, pulling his cloak tighter. Enough. His form wavered, slipping back into the darkness. Enjoy your little trinkets, girl. Soon, even they will not save you. And then he was gone. The forest grew quiet again, though the air still shivered with his presence. Arzo lowered the vial slowly, her hand shaking. He used to be like me. Lyra's expression was grim. Some shadows were once of the light. They chose bitterness. Pain twisted them. That is why we warned you, truth can wound as much as it heals. Arzo pressed the perfume close to her chest. For the first time, she felt pity for the shadows, and fear of what she herself might become if she lost hope. That night, when the fairies sang their lullaby, Arzo sat awake, holding the vial and staring at the stars. She thought of her mother, of the festival, of the mirror's vision of both triumph and despair. She thought of the shadow's whisper. The perfume's mist glowed faintly in the moonlight. And somewhere deep inside, Arzo made a silent promise, I won't let myself fall. I'll carry the truth, no matter how heavy it is. The fairies, though asleep, seemed to dream brighter that night. And the forest, though still wary, seemed to trust her a little more. But far beyond, in the heart of darkness, the cloaked figure whispered to his kin. The morning sun rose gently, brushing the treetops with golden light. Arzo felt different after the encounter with the shadow. The whispering perfume still rested in her hands, its glow dim but steady, like a heart still beating. Lyra fluttered closer. Arzo, the next path awaits you. The festival is nearing, and the gifts must all be revealed before it begins. Today, the forest calls you to the river of dreams. The river of dreams, Arzo repeated, eyes wide. Yes, Lyra said softly. It flows not with water, but with the essence of all who sleep. To drink from it is to step inside dreams that are not your own. Arzo shivered with both wonder and fear. But, why me? Because the river tests more than courage. It tests the heart's balance between imagination and reality. The fairies formed a glowing circle around her, guiding her deeper into the woods. The trees parted, revealing a valley bathed in silver mist. In its center flowed the river of dreams, liquid light instead of water, shimmering with shifting colors. As the river curved, faces appeared in the waves, children laughing, mothers singing, even warriors crying, all flickering like living memories. Arzo gasped. It's beautiful. She knelt at the riverbank, the whispers of countless dreams tugging at her ears. The fairies sang softly, their wings glowing brighter. Lyra handed her a small cup made of crystal petals. Drink, Lyra instructed. Only then will the river open its truth to you. Arzo's hands shook as she dipped the cup into the glowing water. The liquid shimmered like liquid moonlight. She hesitated, then brought it to her lips. The moment the river touched her tongue, her vision shattered. She was no longer by the bank. She was falling through endless stars. Then she stood in a meadow where the sky was painted in shifting colors like an aurora. Around her floated doors, hundreds of them, each glowing faintly, each whispering like a lullaby. This is the dream realm, she breathed. A door opened before her. Without knowing why, Arzo stepped through. Inside, she found a little boy crying beside a broken toy. When she approached, he whispered, I wish my father would come home. Arzo's heart ached. The dream shifted again. Now she stood in a palace, where a queen wept silently while holding a crown. I am strong before them, the queen's dream whispered, but I wish someone would see me as weak. Door after door opened. Arzo saw countless hearts, their wishes, their loneliness, their joys. She felt both wonder and heaviness pressing on her soul. Then, a final door appeared. Darker than the rest. Silent. Its surface shimmered with shadows. Something inside called to her. Her pulse quickened. She pushed it open. Inside was not a dream, but a nightmare. A swirling storm of black mist clawed at the skies. From the darkness, figures formed, shadows with hollow eyes. You should not have come, a voice hissed. Arzo froze. Who is there? A figure emerged, the same cloaked shadow from before. But here, his form was clearer. His cloak was torn, his face pale, marked with sorrow. His eyes burned, but not with fire, rather with endless grief. This is my dream, he said bitterly. Or perhaps my prison. Arzo's chest tightened. Why show me this? Because you drank the river, because now you carry what others refuse to see. His voice shook, though he tried to hide it. Dreams reveal truths. My truth is this, I was once chosen, like you. The forest blessed me. The festival was mine, but I failed. I let the shadows devour me. Arzo's breath hitched. You were, a guardian. He laughed hollowly. A guardian who fell. And now, I ensure no other child takes my place. His eyes darkened. Do you see, girl, you are destined for the same end. Arzo stepped forward, trembling but firm. No, I want to be like you. I want to let despair win. The shadow sneered. We'll see. With that, the nightmare collapsed around her. Suddenly, Arzo was back by the riverbank, the cup still in her hand. Her lungs heaved, her heart pounding. The fairies rushed to her. What did you see? Lyra asked gently. Arzo shook her head, eyes glistening. Dreams. So many dreams. Some full of hope, some full of pain. And him. He was there. The fairies grew silent. They understood. The river glowed brighter for a moment, then dimmed, as though it had accepted her. From its waves rose a gifted delicate silver chain with a pendant shaped like a crescent moon. Inside the moon was a droplet of glowing liquid. Arzo held it carefully. What does it do? Lyra smiled faintly. It holds a single dream. When the time comes, you may release it to protect, heal, or guide. Choose wisely, for once released, it will vanish forever. Arzo slipped the necklace around her neck. The droplet pulsed softly against her chest, like a heartbeat. She looked back at the river, still shimmering with countless faces. She thought of the boy wishing for his father, the queen longing for rest, and the shadow prisoner chained to his nightmare. Her heart whispered, I will not let dreams fade. I will carry them with me. As the sun dipped lower, the fairies sang once more, their voices blending with the river's whispers. And those shadows lurked far beyond. For a brief moment, the forest felt safe. But somewhere, in the deepest corner of the dream realm, the shadow figure's voice lingered, you cannot save them all. And when you fail, I'll be waiting. The silver pendant from the River of Dreams glowed faintly against Arzo's chest as dawn painted the sky with pastel hues. Finally come. The air buzzed with anticipation as the festival of eternal light was about to begin. Villagers lit lanterns that floated into the sky, painting it with glimmers of gold and silver. Drums echoed softly, children laughed, and stars twinkled brighter than ever before, as if they too waited for the celebration. But Arzo's heart raced with more than excitement. She held the three treasures close to her chest: the silver pendant from the River of Dreams, the golden feather from the Sky Garden, and the silver key from the Garden of Forgotten Wishes. Each pulsed with faint light, humming like living things. And above it all, in the far-off dark clouds, she could still sense the shadow watching. The figure that had followed her from the start was near. Lyra hovered at her side, her wings shimmering like 1,000 diamonds. The festival will reveal the true gift of your journey, she whispered. But remember, the shadow will try to claim it for itself. You must be stronger, Arzo. Arzo nodded, though her palms were sweaty. She had come so far, faced rivers that showed dreams, skies filled with endless wings, and gardens where wishes bloomed and wept. And now, it was time. The villagers gathered around the central square where a great crystal tree stood, its branches glowing faintly. The tree had always been there, though no one knew where it came from. Tonight, its blossoms began to stir, as if sensing the treasures Arzo carried. The elder of the village raised his voice. Tonight, the eternal light shall be reborn. And among us, one has carried the weight of its trials. Step forward, child. Arzo felt her legs trembling as all eyes turned to her. Slowly, she stepped into the center, the pendant, feather, and key glowing brighter in her hands. But before she could place them upon the crystal tree, the air split with a low hiss. The shadow figure appeared. It rose from the ground like smoke, its body tall and endless, eyes glowing red. A chilling wind swept the square as villagers gasped in terror, clutching each other. The lanterns above flickered, dimming. I have waited too long, the shadow boomed, its voice echoing like thunder. The eternal light belongs to me. It stretched its smoky arms toward Arzo. For a moment, fear froze her. But then she felt the treasures in her hand warm against her skin. The pendant pulsed with courage, the feather hummed with freedom, and the key glowed with forgotten dreams reclaimed. Arzo's heart steadied. She stood tall. No. The light does not belong to darkness. It belongs to hope. The shadow lunged, tendrils wrapping around her. Arzo gasped as the cold seeped into her bones. But she clutched the pendant tightly, and a burst of silver light radiated outward, breaking the tendrils apart. The crowd gasped. The shadow roared in fury. Lyra! Arzo cried. The fairy rose high, wings blazing with golden fire. Use the treasures together, Arzo. Only then will the light awaken. Arzo ran to the crystal tree. She placed the silver pendant at its roots. The tree shivered, glowing brighter. She laid the golden feather upon its trunk. Light streamed upward through its branches. Finally, with trembling hands, she pressed the silver key into the heart of the tree. The ground rumbled. The tree burst into radiant bloom, blossoms of crystal exploding into color. Light surged outward, cascading like waterfalls across the square. The sky above split open with a million stars. The shadow shrieked, stumbling backward. Just a dreamer, you are its guardian. The villagers cheered her name, Arzo. 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 Her heart swelled. She had once thought herself ordinary, a girl who whispered forgotten wishes to the stars. But tonight, she had become part of something greater. Lyra fluttered onto her shoulder, smiling warmly. Your journey is complete. But remember, every ending is also a beginning. The eternal light will live as long as there are dreamers like you. Arzo looked up at the glowing lanterns drifting higher and higher, her eyes reflecting the starlight. For the first time, she truly believed, magic was real, and it lived not only in faraway lands but also within her. She whispered softly to the night sky, as if to the little girl she once was, your wish came true. The stars seemed to wink in reply. And as the festival of eternal light shone across the world, Arzo's story became part of the dream